Welcome to this webinar. This is something that we've been doing, we're wanting to do because actually there's a lot of concerns and talk about what's going to happen to the property industry. How do we get ahead of it? How do we find solutions to this modern problem that we're all facing right now? And to be honest with you, we can't say that we have all the answers. But I think it's going to be an ongoing conversation because digital is something that we've always been a part of, and we've always wanted things to go digital. But we've been a proponent of it. But then it looks like, you've probably seen that meme as well. Coronavirus and COVID-19 is one of the things that's causing us and everyone to be disrupted and move faster than before. So no one can foresee this, but it's happening right now. So Karen, first off, I just want to say thank you for organizing this. I think you've been doing a great job. If those of you who want to be a bit more interactive, I think you see the chat window on this side. Yeah, you can feel free to just chat with us and ask us questions along the way. But maybe before that also, I want to acknowledge our speakers today. They're all on screen. Firstly, we have Joshua Chiam, who is a YouTuber. All right, and that is waving. He's muted right now, but you can wave, right? All right, and then we also have Mr. Daryl Tan. All right, and none other than my business associate, Mr. Victor Chua. So maybe just to start off, FYI, today is Saturday. Okay, some of you may not even realize today is Saturday. Karen, what day is it of our MCO?
It's about 32 since 18th of March. So yeah, we have marked 32 days.
So how has it been for you guys? 32 days being at home. I hope you guys are doing okay as well as you can be. I know there's a lot of disruption, a lot of things that is changing around us, but we'll get through it together, yeah? So I don't know, I was going to start with, Karen, Salam Lockdown. Is that what people say? Salam Lockdown. Or is it inappropriate?
I don't know, but yeah.
Okay, so people are coming in, more and more people coming in. We have a very good response today. Last week's webinar, we had 300 over people that signed up. And today's one, we have 200, close to 300 as well.
Yes.
And people are slowly coming in. Yeah, so maybe you want to bring us through some housekeeping rules and all that, Karen?
Sure, but since you actually brought it up about last previous webinar, yes, we have about 300 plus of people signing up. Okay, and we did some simple feedback on what we actually should focus in. So these are one of the questions that which areas of digitalization you are looking for. So if you can see, can you see my screen?
It's not showing yet, not yet.
Yeah. Okay, so it shows that which areas of digitalization that you are looking for in your company. So it shows that digital marketing, it's highest number, about 48 people, and the total respondents is about 108. Okay, and the second one is lead generation, virtual, followed by virtual walkthrough and digital sales, live sales chat. Okay, and the next question is, yeah, what would you like to hear in the future on modern solutions webinar, which is today is the second time. Okay, and it shows again that digital online marketing has a highest percentage and then lead to lead generation, yeah, and digital sales and followed by others segment that they're actually looking for. So right. Yeah, so that's the reason why we're actually going on for this second webinar, and we try to have a focus, a demand-driven webinar, so we can actually help out to the industry. Yep. Okay, so a little bit about how we're actually going to spend the next 60 minutes to all of you. Now we have about 120 participants. Welcome. Thank you very much for spending Saturday with us. So this is how we're going to spend the 60 minutes. So I think we are already in the introduction phase, and we have three presenters today. We have Joshua Cham, we have Daryl Tan, and Vic Chua. So Joshua is going to share about what is the consumer purchasing trend in the future and how companies can build trust online. And Daryl, he's going to share about the digital marketing strategies you can actually deploy in the current situation and what just drew his brain, what you want to know. Yeah. And Victor is going to share about lead generation, how to do the retargeting, remarketing. to your clients, especially in this time. So we will have an open Q&A session after all those presentations. So hold your horses. If you have any question, as mentioned by Jason, you can always comment your questions in the chat window. Okay, we will try to answer them as many as possible in the open Q&A session. So friendly reminder, participate in Q&A. You will get a presentation and also a recorded video after a simple feedback, as I mentioned at the beginning, where we had done for the first one. And be patient with the technical slip, as so I've just shared the video, a little bit of lag. Yeah. And finally, sit back, learn, and enjoy. Okay. So let me go to...
Yeah, sorry. Before that, actually, I was quite curious. I would like a bit more interactivity from our audience today. I think I'm just trying to allow a bit more time as people start coming in, because the signups were close to 300, but people are still, maybe Saturday morning. They're taking a bit of time to have their breakfast and all that. For those of you that has been in the window already, I mean, in this conversation, in this webinar already, thank you for being on time. Just real quick, because we are still fine-tuning and getting the best flow for this. Just curious for you guys, right? When is a better time for you to do a webinar? Is it on a weekday or is it on a weekend? Can you please comment in the chat window? Just simply say weekend or weekday. If you want to be more specific, and even say morning, afternoon, or evening. Yeah. So I just
let's have more interactive
activity, with our people, because this is live, and we may not even allow it for to be viewed later on. But I'm thank you for the feedback. I'm seeing morning Jason Key, morning Alfred Tan. Oh, busy, very busy. Yeah, we're all very busy as well. Morning NKK.
Weekend morning.
Weekend morning, all right. Are we here? Weekend afternoon, weekday morning, all right. Good. Okay, just keep them coming for the next few minutes, because we will compile this and then we will have a better idea how to go about doing this, because I know different people are coming from different background. Some of you may be working full on the weekdays, working from home. But the joiners, some of you prefer to do it in the evenings, at night. We can make it happen as well. So we just thought to give it a try on a Saturday morning, just to give it a go. And this is only our second time doing this on the weekend. So hearing from you, we may even adjust things, because we want to find out what works best for most of you. Yeah. All right. But maybe as the response are still coming in, Karen, how does it feel for you running this webinar? Because Karen has been doing live events, like physical live events for a long time, and now it's going online and it's all webinar. So how is that feeling for you doing this?
When I actually started to do webinar, of course, as like a normal people, they're a bit reluctant to go in, very much, because we are not familiar to the digital. Normally we just manually go down to book the hall and then invite speaker, call. But here everything is just online. And if you're actually familiar with it, it's saved a lot of times, and you just need to spend a couple of minutes in a day just to do that thing. It's actually very simple in going online. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And now most of us are actually wearing short pants.
Oh, is it?
Had my first makeup in 32 days.
I asked in the chat how many of you are actually wearing.
Nice.
It's underwear. Don't wear underwear anymore. Okay, don't answer that question. Okay, I'm not gonna ask. You don't need to answer if you're wearing underwear. No need to answer that. Okay.
Yeah, I can see the questions. Actually, a lot of people prefer morning. It's just that weekdays. Some people weekdays, and some it's weekend.
Thank you all for all your feedback. I think what we'll do is later on, after this whole webinar, we can actually compile it and we can have a look at it. Right. So today's webinar is we have a strategic partner. Karen, can you tell us who they are?
First, we would actually like to thank. Let me go back to the slide. We would actually like to thank our. Sorry. So we would actually like to thank Sharida. If you can see on my right here, Sharida is actually a Sabah Property Developer Association, and they actually agreed to endorse our event, our webinar, as a supporting association. So we also have Dr. Chua, which is the Deputy President, and from Sharida. Thank you very much for endorsing us as a supporting association. We welcome it, and we have a lot of developers and participants from Sabah, and we have also from Kuching, all over the Malaysia. Thank you very much for joining in and tuning in this live Zoom.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, for those of you who are just joining us, this is something that we plan to do on a regular basis. It's a MHub Webinar Series. And of course, the title, as you've signed up for, is Property Sales, Business Continuity, Modern Solutions. And what we do is, last week we had Voders and Red Tone. And today we have two partners, other partners besides ourselves, which we will introduce later on more. And we will also have more and more partners that will be joining us in the coming show. So all the partners that join us are actually coming with a certain goal, which is to help property developers to continue their businesses. You know, a lot of things are disrupted. People can't go to show gallery. There's a lot of negative forecasts about the property market, all these kind of things. But I think we cannot dwell on the problems, just problems, but we need to look at solutions, right? Modern problem requires modern solutions. Right? So maybe Karen, you want to introduce our first speaker and then we can go right into it.
Yes. So the very first presentation is we talk about unboxing properties by video. So the entire today is the rise of unboxing properties video. So what will be, as I mentioned in the beginning, what will be the consumer purchasing trends in the near future? And how can companies build trust online? We are so skeptical. I myself, I'm so skeptical. I don't buy makeup and all this. Yeah, so how to change it? How do you approach creating compelling content that can cut through all those clutter? So we are very welcome to Joshua, which he has more than 10 years working experience specializing in digital marketing, e-commerce, and branding. He is also the Google certified partner. And prior to his experience offline in ATL, I'm not sure what does that mean, marketing. And he has also experience in several industries, including F&B, QSR especially, oil and gas, and entertainment. So let's welcome him, Joshua, and to tell more how you actually can create more content, more demand-driven content. So Joshua, let's take the plane, yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, so I'm just going to start sharing my slides right now. Okay, and we will go right into it. So today, welcome everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you guys this morning. I'm really excited to be with y'all. And happy MCO and stay safe everyone, stay strong. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk to you today and share a little bit about my experience. The title is The Rise of Unboxing Property Videos, ? So let's get right into it. Let me introduce you. I'm Josh, a digital marketer, YouTuber, and dad. So those three pictures basically sum up my 24 hours. So on the left is my life as a digital marketer. So I've been working in the global marketing agency for almost 10 years. So my clients includes Coke, Singapore, Coke Malaysia, Singapore, Domino's, Castro, Prudential, Universal Pictures, and so on. So that's my life on the left. In the middle is my YouTube life, which is going to be most of the highlight for today. I've been in the YouTube scene for about 7 years right now. And the picture you see there was me at the YouTube festival last year, invited by Google for content creators. So I'm going to go a little bit more into my YouTube life. And on my right is my family. So when I'm not being on YouTube and doing all the marketing stuff, then I'm at home washing toilets and sweeping the floor and getting the kids to bathe. So basically that's most of my 24 hours per day. So let me go straight into the first thing. Number one, I don't know much about property. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. But let me share with you my journey and experience of being a content creator, a digital marketer, and a tech influencer, okay? And then let's see how all this ties back in the end. Is that okay, guys? Right? Cool. So I'm going to go to the next one. So this is my first phone, Alcatel. Okay, kind of review my age, but bought it when I went into university. My mom said, let's go buy a phone. I said, okay, what model? Don't know. What specs? Don't know. We went to the shop. My shop, the shop was, my mom always see the shop. So we went to the shop, we asked seller, can give us recommendation? The seller give us 3 model. We have no idea what is it about. We just look, press, CC, talk about the price. Okay, done. We just bought, and then we went with it. So that was my first phone. Fast forward, 18 years later, my parents, my dad bought for my mom this phone, a Huawei Nova 3i, online. Okay, no touch, no press, nothing. Just online research, look, see, read the reviews, then bought. Okay, so my point is, how did the purchasing behavior change over the few years? How did we transition from look, press to click of a mouse? What happened along these few years? So I asked myself this question, and all I did was I traced back our purchasing steps of this phone buying journey. Okay, is I want to buy a new phone, and then all the way to I bought a new phone. What happened? Now, traditionally, it's only one line going up, which is everything is a one-stop. You ask the seller, you buy everything all in one place. But now it's very different. Everything happens in multiple platforms, different times, and purchasing done. Just like that from different surveying vendors. So the journey is, it is a snake line along with a lot of online reviews, a lot of unboxing, of course, friends' recommendation, and Google search, and of course, the maturity of e-commerce. So I realized, and when I compare it and I look at a consumer purchasing journey, it is very heavily placed by online reviews and unboxing. Because unboxing lets you see what's inside the box already. You don't have to touch, see. Unboxing is already there. So that was the change that we saw on the purchasing behavior. 18 years difference. Now, I'm going to jump into right now another chapter, which is me and our YouTube channel, which is Tricycle TV. Feel free to go to YouTube and look us up. Okay, it's the three of us. How we brand ourselves is stupidly funny, tech lifestyle, and lousy gamers. Okay, currently we are sitting at 175,000 subscribers. We have about total of 28 million views on our channel. So let me introduce you. On your left is yours truly. In the middle is Eric. Eric is, if you know, he's quite well known in the Chinese singing scene. He won the Astro competition last time. So he went to Taiwan. About 6-7 years was his singing career, and he came back with us. On the right is Smash Pop, or Jason. He is a tech influencer and a lifestyle influencer as well. So the three of us, we birthed Tricycle TV back in 2013. How did we came about? We just came about, we saw, wow, all these GD boys, then cool, all famous. We just want to become famous. We have ideas, we have skills, we have nothing to lose. Let's just go with it and whack it. Right? So whack it we did. So this is what we have done for the first 2-3 years of our YouTubing life. We do all the parodies, we do all the skits, musical, prank, drama. It's a rojak buffet. Really rojak one. Everything we do, because we wanted to try everything in the market. However, we never really took off because we tried so many things. Okay, something was missing. We just somehow couldn't get viral until this. So let me play with you this. Right. So let me share with you. This video came when we were at our lowest point. We just decided to do a filler video. Okay, a filler video is something just to fill in the gaps, just be there, no planning one, no script, no cast, no sets. Okay, we even shot this at a location. Towards the end, we got halal by the guard. Okay, because we had no permit. The guard halal us. Hey, please go off. Okay, we have no permit. So we did this just to fill. And today, to date, 3.3 million views organically. We were mind blown. How did this happen? So for information, the title of this video is SHIT Android users say to iPhone 7 users. Okay, just like that, we were like, what happened? Did durian runtuh or what? So we look at it, and how did this become a winning formula for us? It became a bread and butter. After that, right, everybody kept requesting for this format. When we tried to do something else, it didn't work so well. They just said, I want an SHIT video. I want a comparison video. So if we look back, what were the ingredients of success? To us and to me, I narrate down 3 things. Number 1, educational content. Okay, even though it was funny, we gave information, the features of the phone, how you can use it to your lifestyle and things like that. Number 2, it was original. This time we didn't try to be anyone else. We just were ourselves. We put on our most comfortable skin and we just do what we felt like it. So it was original content. Lastly, but I don't think it's the most important, but it helps is if it's a trending topic. Okay, so the time it was trending. So now this video, the one that I showed you, it really withstood the test of time, because to this day, still people watch, iPhone 7. Who still watch iPhone 7 video? But people still watch. So sometimes this kind of video, it withstood the test of time. Till now, people still watch. All right. So after this, it was a roller coaster ride for us. We got these clients. Okay, this is our current clientele, and let me tell you, we never approached them. They approached us to make videos in our style. Okay, they tell us, do your style, have a freedom to express. So I just want to share with you that we were never tied to any of these brands. We were considered neutral. Yes, clients came and asked us to do videos, but we were given the freedom to express, because our audience loved how we deliver those content. Right? So how it turned out, these are the types of videos that we have done for our clients. Comparison videos, incorporated series, sponsorships, and then we were invited for phone launches. And then if you see there, the Realme, the yellow color box, Facebook Live phone launches, this is as fresh and as new as 2 days ago. We were on Realme Facebook Live launch of the newest phone, the Realme 6i. All right, and just on the live show, less than 24 hours, 100 over 1,000 views, 1,000 over shares. All right, so this is how life has turned out for us. So what does it all mean? So let me tell you something. I am not a tech guru. Really, honestly, I might be perceived as a tech person, but I share with you guys, I'm not a tech guru. I don't know a lot of things about tech. And to be really honest, sometimes aspects of a phone, right, I need to read and see, oh, what is the spec? Oh, the phone like this. Then only I go and shoot a video. All right. But what I do know is to apply these 3 winning formula that makes people follow and like us, which is educational, original, and trending. Now, how do we tie it all up? All right. How does this connect to you? How does this connect to us? How does this connect to property industry post MCO? 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years later. What has this to do with us? So let me share with you my personal opinion. Okay, what we once imagined was made possible with time and technology. Okay, it took me, myself, my family 18 years from buying a phone from a shop to buying online. What about buying property? I believe that COVID-19 has accelerated the process. I don't think it will take us 18 years to buy property online. Okay. And retail e-commerce has built the foundation into online property purchase. So I believe we are closer to it than we think. And my thinking is that I believe the psyche and purchasing behavior from what we saw earlier would not differ much. Okay, means people will be even more reliant on reviewers and property unboxers to show them the unit when they cannot be there. Because right now, post MCO, a lot of people don't want to go out anymore and be more unwilling to go out. So people will be wanting to look at a neutral consumer to consumer point of view, just like what we experience. Okay, and I believe this will play a very pivotal role in the influencing the purchasing journey moving forward. Okay, so for these types of reviewers, I feel that it's still in an infancy stage. I will share a little bit more about this moving forward. So just remember, if anything, remember this slide. This slide is very important. That a lot of things have to be put into place from this whole purchasing journey, from I want to buy to I bought a new property. So what do I feel is the current barrier of a property in reviewer or an unboxing video? I believe these are the current 3 barriers. Why is it not widely spread or widely known right now? Number 1 is a lot of people still lack the skills and talent exposure. Okay, when you become a reviewer online, it requires know how to produce a video. It actually is pre-planning to shoot, to edit, and things like that. Of course, all this is if you're doing it on your own lah. If got people shoot you, then not done. But more importantly, if you're a reviewer or if you are the one who is showing people the property, it requires an on-screen persona. You have to be likable, right? Charismatic. So this is something which can be trained, but currently in the market, a lot of people still lack this. Number two is it's difficult to access products and property. This is not a makeup or a phone where it's easily accessible. I can just buy, I can just review. Property is much different. Right? I can't just walk into property. Hey, hello, can I just shoot your house and everything? Cannot. So there is the current barrier right now. Lastly, I believe is the low idealization of the industry. What does this mean? Everybody wants to review makeup. Everybody wants to review fashion. Everybody wants to review tech. Okay, so because it's an idealized kind of industry in a sense. But I feel that the exposure to property review is still not there yet, and a lot of people still don't know what is the potential career out of it. So I just want to add from what I see, right? By removing this barrier, it requires teamwork and cooperation of all the parties to make this work. Now, lastly, what's the action plan for us? I believe the action plan should be these three, which is to identify the talent. Okay, this is important because not everybody would have the talent, the charisma to be a reviewer, to be an unboxer of a reviewer. So look out maybe among your agents, among your friends, you see a talent, identify with them. Number two, you should be the first mover to work with them. You know how Genie Boy, how Dan Koo, how Ming, how these guys become so big because they were the first movers. They were the pioneers to open the road for the rest of us to come in. So whoever is fast wins, I believe, in this game. All right. Thirdly, it's even a bolder move if you can even cultivate your own. So cultivate your own means what? Cultivate your own means you are thinking ahead. Maybe I can grow my own type of influencers. Maybe I can put together a team to start having this kind of videos out. All right. So I'm just going to end with this. The transition to buying a property online still requires some framework to be placed. I'm sure Daryl will elaborate more later. But we must never forget how we fundamentally purchase things. A consumer to a consumer recommendation, a word of mouth, right? So I just want to end with this. This is a quote from Scott Cook, director of eBay and P&G. A brand is no longer what we tell the consumer it is what the consumers tell each other it is, right? So there ends my sharing for today. Hi, I'm Josh. This is my company, Day and Light Digital. I specialize in digital marketing, consulting, and YouTube marketing. Feel free to contact me if any questions. And just briefly going through, soon I'll be having kind of a course of how to create a real estate video from your home. So if you have any questions about this, do feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joshua. I think really good insights that you shared. I think also because why we're talking about it. Some of you may be watching like, why is this YouTuber talking to me on this webinar? I think really the premise that you've shared here is that because of the MCO and because of COVID-19, more and more people will be concerned on going to actual show galleries and going to actual maybe even properties to purchase, right? So I think really before, like how it was with gadgets and how it is with maybe even food, people will actually go for a review first before going into actually, because nothing really beats physically there, where you can touch, feel, smell the actual property for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But before doing that, before going to that stage, people will be a bit more, I think the trend, what you're saying here is people will go online and do a bit more research first, right? And I think the other interesting thought and the other thing that we need to consider is that really, this is where the millennials are, the future property purchasers are. They actually do not just take wholesale advertisements that are from the people that are selling themselves, but they actually are concerned about what their peers say, user-generated content, what the market says, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, correct.
I remember when I read in China, the agents, they're using TikTok, the social media platform, okay, to market their project. So if they buy, then they're actually going to make some a short video script in TikTok. They give it to their clients. So it's very interesting to have these ideas of video marketing. Yeah.
So it's not just selling properties via Facebook or YouTube. You're saying even like Instagram or TikTok, people are actually doing marketing, because again, that's where the people are, and that's where people's opinions are formed, and that's where they actually decide whether to make a purchase or not. So leading swiftly along into the next speaker, who actually, by the way, I just found out, right, our next speaker was supposed to get married today. so
Congratulations.
so he's supposed to get married today. Like, so he's one of the many people. I know a couple of couples who actually had to delay or postpone their wedding because of MCO. I think really my heart goes out to you. But wow, today could have been your wedding, but instead you're hosting, you're part of a webinar. Wow. Maybe I'll let Karen introduce him.
Yeah. So before going back to introduce the second speaker, okay, and some of you is actually asking about Joshua's slide. So we will send you all the slide after you complete the survey. So I'll give you a QR code at the end of the third presentation. Then you just scan and you have directly to the Google form. You just complete it, and then we will send you the slide and also the recorded video after that. Okay. Yeah.
Also, if you have questions, you can already go ahead. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Zoom, right at the bottom, there is a chat button. You can click on it, and then the chat window will appear, and you can ask questions. So you can just, throughout this whole webinar, ask questions. We will compile the questions, and we will talk about it later on in the Q&A. Hopefully, yours will be chosen. But other than that, I mean, other means on our window and the chat, you can actually see, you can email hello@mhub.my, and there's also a phone number there which you can get in touch with us, and then we will link you accordingly.
Yeah. So without further ado, let me introduce the second presenter. And yeah, so the title is actually Digital Marketing Strategy in a COVID-19 world. So what kind of a digital marketing strategy do you deploy in your current climate? I know that all of you, or maybe some of you, are already using in your company, but is it actually suitable for current climate, especially in MCO and COVID-19? So what are the important digital touch points in creating an effective lead funnel, okay, in your property marketing strategy? So here's the answer a question for our presenter, Daryl. So a little bit about him. He is actually a co-founder in OpenMinds, okay, with his partner. And he's growing the company's valuation to USD 5 million in 4.5 years. That's brilliant. And had recognized as among the top 10 visionary leaders in 2018 and 2019. So he is actually blessed to work alongside high-profile brands like CIMB, Cellcom, Nestle, Sunway Group, and many, many more. There's too many for me to list down. So without further ado, please welcome Daryl. Yeah, so share us, what is your strategies?
All right, good morning, everybody. It's really great to be here. Thank you, MHub, Jason, Karen, for having me here. It's a wonderful day. Yes, it's true. It's supposed to be my wedding today. But I'm very glad that I'm here instead. So what I'm going to share with you today is basically a snapshot. It's going to be a real snapshot of tips and tricks of this COVID-19 and how we can approach digital marketing. So I will share my screen with you. Let me just give me a while. Here. All right, can I request one thing from everybody? All right, so if you're still there, all right, in the chat, maybe put a thumbs up saying, hey, high five, everybody. Let's keep the chat going. All right, it's going to be a conversation, right? And the second thing I want
to stop you a little bit, we actually have a reaction there. You can have a thumbs up or just a clap.
Yeah, you can thumbs up, you can. And if you find that anything that we say makes sense to you and you find it like an aha moment, maybe you just type it in the chat as well. Help everyone to digest what is being said, because we're going to really go through certain things today. So if you find that something I said that is useful, type it in the chat, so help everyone to digest it, something that makes sense to you. Put it into the chat so we can all learn together, all right? I will dive straight in right now to the digital solutions during this very novel C19 world. We're all at home, I believe so, making sure that the curve comes down. So what's going to happen today is I'm going to run a developer series. Now, I'm the co-founder of OpenMinds and also Open Academy, as Karen has also mentioned. Do a quick introduction. OpenMinds is basically a MarTech company, marketing technology. So we we focus on digital marketing, strategy, tech development. We focus also on creative work. All right. So this is very important to us because in this day and age, most of people are mobile first and they're online. Now, Open Academy then focuses on the education side of things. All right. When I say education, meaning to say the things that we are good at, digital marketing, SEO, performance marketing, tech development, and creative work, we teach this offline. But due to online, we have also brought all our classes forward. We brought our phase 2 into phase 1 right now. And Open Academy is going full-fledged online starting next week. And we have also a content distribution platform that will help our audience and our students learn online as well. So we're very excited about that. And I would just dive straight in. Enough about myself. If you want to know more about me, please hook me, just have a chat with me on LinkedIn or Instagram, whichever that you favor the most. All right. I'll move in straight into my first point. Now, I will touch on, no pun intended, I will touch on touch points right now and helping everyone here understand how we can go further down the funnel, all right, of customer acquisition and also conversion. After that, I will touch on what kind of content you can use and perhaps some online media buying as well. Now, you have to understand that today is going to be a very touch and go quick one, but I hope that it will remain relevant to all of you out there. I'll go straight in. Now, everybody needs to remember this. Online, all right, when we talk about digital online, we really discover things through various occasions and micro moments of our lives. Imagine your customer and yourself. What did you do this morning when you first woke out of bed? Some of you might have checked your WhatsApp, email, Instagram, maybe look at some TikTok, do a live IG of yourself waking up. I don't know, right? First thing I did today was perhaps open my Bible app, look at some WhatsApp, and look at Instagram, all right? And if you understand how a customer journey goes, you understand all these micro moments from the day you wake up to the night you sleep, you're actually on social media, you're on some form of digital marketing platform. Now, this is a very important thing to note then. Digitally, I have to understand then that on Facebook, Instagram, wherever your segment or demographic is, that is where they are through micro moments, when they eat, when they work out, when they commute. Now, if you understand that, then you will understand the different channels and the different times of day of which channel you need to jump on board. I won't argue with you whether digital or offline. I think now majority of us would agree digital is the way to go. Online, that's where you need to be. And that is where your segment or demographic is as well, especially for developers who want to sell your property. Now, moving straight in then into the funnel. This is something very basic, I understand. However, I have to say that you have to understand the areas of awareness and the consideration and conversion and retention, meaning to say the people that already know about or don't know about your product. I want to know more about your product. Please, I want to experience your product and I want to buy your product. And then after that, how can I remain on your platform or CRM to purchase more? So you basically want to bring them down deeper into the funnel, right? So how do you actually do this? Is by knowing touch points and your customer journey online. And when you know this, then you would understand the narratives that your customers and audience will start asking, even yourself. I want to know this property, for example. I really want to know it. And online now, MCO, I want to view it, but how? So if you were to look back, last week, MHub has also covered a webinar on virtual tours. I want to experience. Virtual tours are something very pivotal right now. It's very, very advanced right now. You can go in, there's 360 view, you can immerse yourself in probably a show gallery, but in the comfort of your own home, just by having your computer with you. So if you understand, I want to view, I want to experience, and I want to buy. How do you actually buy now? Of course, we have platforms like MHub that helps from transaction from all the way from start to the end, right? So you got online purchasing platforms like this right now available to you. And then for developers, for agents, you're able then now to understand the narratives of your customers and your prospects of how they want to experience or how they want to buy something from you online. All right. So you understand, again, a recap, you have to know your touch points and you need to know then the customer journey. I will jump straight into the touch points and the journey. Now, you have to understand this. An average of 5 to 7 touch points is needed before you actually buy something. So it's very, very simple. Take a scenario. Anyone here perhaps bought something online most recently, Zalora, Lazada, on IG, anywhere on a marketplace, right? You would understand that that product you might have seen somewhere before. It's not the first time you're seeing it. You may have seen it in a mall before. You may see your friend used it. You may have received an email marketing about it. You've seen an ad on Facebook. You go in and view their product, and then you read their reviews and you buy. That's about 5 to 6 touch points, right, ladies and gentlemen? It's 5 to 6 touch points. That means to say it takes 5 to 7 times of viewing that particular product or brand before you buy. So as a property developer or agents out there, you need to understand that customers need 5 to 7 touch points before they actually buy. So if you take a scenario, all right, if you take a scenario, for example, like this, on the far left, focus, I know this is a whole spectrum of visualization here, but look to me to the far left first. You see Facebook and Instagram. These are the platforms I believe my segments, my customer segment is at, right? So very simply, you understand that in this platform, sorry, I accidentally went out of the play mode, sorry. Okay, so if you look at Facebook and Instagram, these are where my segments are, all right? And then I would do an organic video sharing with them. I will put it on, let's say Instagram stories, or I'll put it on Instagram TV, or IGTV. Now, if you understand this, your video would then have a play rate, right? People will click on your video, play on your video, property sales gallery. Wow, very nice, this project. And on the back end, now on the back end, if you have control over this platform of yours, you will understand about remarketing. All right, remarketing here. Now, remarketing is very important in this day and age, whereby you're able to tell the ad manager saying that if people who watch this video, please send them a voucher. Please send them another video. Please get them to fill up a form. So that is important for you to know, because on the back end, you will understand that you're able to gather this kind of data. And nowadays, when you see and you believe, you know, when you go around Instagram and Facebook, you see a water bottle, for example, and then suddenly you see this water bottle following you everywhere, right? You follow from your Facebook to Google to Instagram. This is called remarketing, right? So you're able to actually adjust this. You're able to do it on your back end of your ad manager. Now, I have to say nowadays, organic posting is very difficult to gain traction. You need to invest and invest smartly into your paid media or sponsored media as well online. So if you look at videos, far left, if people see video, please send them a voucher. From voucher, they will go to a sales page. They will click it. They go to order page. They will check out, add to cart, and then customer service. But if you look at the bottom half of it, you understand there's an opt-in page, meaning to say, ask people to fill up a form to, you know, get in touch with you or get latest promotions and so on and so forth. You can opt in, and then you can go the same route. People go to sales page, order page. All these are done online, all right? And I understand from property viewpoint that you cannot just do I put up a form and then to say, I want to visit your gallery, for example, and this MCO is impossible. So perhaps you can fill in form, tell people, you know, your potential customers, we will send you something, a gift, maybe perhaps a feel and experience of how, if you were to buy this property, how would it feel? Maybe a certain brochure done up nicely, like in like a VP form. You know, I just got my property last year. They give me this, you know, the VP with all the keys and all the booklets and all the pamphlets and all the how-to stuff, and maybe you can do something like that and just drop a mail to them from their home, get them to experience this, and on the inside, on your back end, you will have this data with you. So if you look at this whole customer journey, you understand there's 5 to 7 touch points before someone actually buys something from you, or even inquire. Some form of conversion happens after 5 to 7. So if you look at this whole visual, you understand where your touch points are, where your content would sit, and then where your channels would be. All right, I will dive in straight right now into then, if you talk about all this, what kind of content is then relevant to me, with the right kind of content, right? Now, it's important to note then that there are many types of content out there to communicate to your audience. There are many types of content, right? I just want to dive straight into video, right? As Josh has said, he's an expert in video. We understand that 64% of connected consumers across APAC are watching online videos, and Malaysia is a huge consumer of videos. So if you want to dive into any form of content online to sell or to convert your customers or get some sort of data from your customers online, do videos, do property videos, do walkthroughs, any form of introduction, do a home video that you can make in your home, get a sales director or perhaps CEO of the property, the developer, to do a video talking about the property or the development and so on, and then share it out online. I want to go dive straight into the multiple suggested platforms that you can potentially have for education. You look at your top left, infographics, you can have image. Chat is quite interesting because perhaps you can put all the customers who have questions about your property and get them into a chat where your customer service or your sales representatives can actually chat with them, convert them using human form, pure chat. All right. Bottom left, articles on education. Articles is good for your sales, for your search engine optimization. I won't go deep into that, but articles is a good way to educate people and help people find you online as well. Videos, right? If you see videos is again a tremendous platform that you can be on, good content that can sell, and of course live videos, something like this as well. So some suggestions. There are tons more content out there, but these are a few suggestions I would have in terms of selling your property or being able to get out there online. So do digest either one of these, and I encourage you to then execute it as well. Now, we have to understand whatever content that we do, we need to be mobile first, mobile centric. We need to ensure that our content is being mobile friendly as well. 52% rise of mobile at 2018. This shows that we are all mobile first. I don't have to go on further with that, but I want to go straight into then how do you buy ads for online, right? If you look on the right, you see there are different types of ad. There's offer ad, lead gen ad, messenger ad, carousel ad, so on and so forth. This tells you that if you're not an expert of ads, please, this is a plea. Try to just test it out on your own. Don't invest too much. Get specialists to help you. Now, the right investment is important because organic content nowadays is very difficult to have reach and mileage. So you need some form of paid media, or you need some form of investment into Facebook ad, Instagram ad, and get that pixel going, put the pixel in your website so that you can remarket to your audience as well. Performance marketing is a huge platform, is a huge segment I cannot cover today, but what I can say is that buying ads nowadays is a science. It's calculated, it's a skill, and if you're very interested to know, you can get in touch with us as well. We'll walk you through on how to exactly do it, or we can help you out with it. But paid media is extremely important in this day and age, especially if you have a lot of content and you're trying to bring your customers further down the funnel and to touch them at every touch point and micro moments along the way. And of course, this is important where they exactly land on. Landing meaning to say once they click your ad, where do they land on is important. Do you want them to land on straight on a virtual tour on the top? You want to land on a chat? You want them to land on your sales page? What do you want them to land on? You need to be transparent in your copy. You need to have anchor videos, maybe an introduction video. A virtual tour will be good. And of course, a live chat or mobile first platform will be great, all right? Now, moving on, you have to understand that then the creativeness of this. Now, there is a case study I'll bring you very quickly. I'm running out of time on Burger Lab. My Burger Lab. If My Burger Lab is here, thanks for joining in. But if not, you will notice that this is the game called Animal Crossing. They have actually created a My Burger Lab store inside this game. And you know, esport gaming is very, very rampant right now. They actually created a store. So I can encourage you, if you have this creative team, you can go in and create maybe your property inside this game, and you can imagine the amount of people actually play this game, and your segment of people playing this game, they're young adults, they're people with also spending power, and then you can reach out to them via this game. You can actually create your own property in here, like how My Burger Lab has created a store in this game called Animal Crossing. So this is a very creative way to push out your content. This is a very creative way to do your marketing as well. So with that, I will wrap, and thank you very much for your time. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have caught some nuggets along the way. If you have any more questions, if you have any more concerns or anything that you're not clear, please visit us on openmindsresources.com or Open Academy, in which we will be launching a few courses as well. Or you can go straight to inquiries, openmindsresources.com/contact us for those business inquiries. You can go straight there. Our BD team will get in touch with you. So thank you, everybody, and God bless.
Bye.
Thanks, Daryl, for sharing that. I think, thanks for sharing that. I think really what you share is very insightful. Sorry, Karen, to interrupt you. It's very insightful because the question is not so much about whether we should go online anymore, right? Of course, you have to go online. There's no second thought about that. But the thing is, now because of the MCO and because of the current situation, everyone is online. So it becomes a very crowded space, right? It becomes so crowded that how do you stand apart from everyone else? If you're talking about property developers, every developer is going to be online to get people's attention. So the question here is, how do you stand apart from everywhere else? And thanks for sharing about your academy. I think because this topic of digital marketing is it's on everyone's mind, but not many people have the handle of it. And this topic also is a fairly new one. So it's very good that you have a place where people can go and learn online about how to do digital marketing well and not just throw money and burn money on boosting ads without a strategy behind it. And that's the thing that you say, the worst thing you can do. So once again, thanks for sharing that. I think for those of you who have questions for Daryl or Joshua or Victor later on, feel free to ask it in the chat window. And then we will try to answer them as much as we can. For those of you just joining us, welcome to our MHub Webinar Series, Property Sales Business Continuity, Modern Solutions, where we talk with tech partners. That last week we had Red Tone and Voters. We talked about insight-driven surveys and also virtual walkthroughs. And today we have these three fine gentlemen talking today. I'm very excited to keep engaging and keep this conversation going. But once again, if you have like Daryl shared the screen and Joshua, some of you are our partners and you've been invited to join us through our growth team. So you can also ask them to be connected if it makes sense for you to explore these different solutions. And also, of course, for our partners and property developers who are already working with us and you have projects with us, engage with us and send an email on hello@mhub.my or our community team. We will be more than happy to talk and connect with you. So moving swiftly along, Karen, you introduce our next speaker.
Right. Yep. So this is our last speaker, our last presenter. Okay. And he is actually a Chief Business Officer, okay, in MHub. And he has more than 20 years of experience in property development. He was also the ex-executive director of a public listed property development company. And you wouldn't believe his age. It's because I mentioned 20 years experience. Yeah. So he is going to talk about end-to-end property sales ecosystem, the lead retargeting. So after MCO, it won't be a business as usual anymore. You agree with me? Yeah. So how can a developer engage the market and grow leads in a more meaningful way and more effective way? So MHub is actually a holistic approach to online property transactions. It's well placed in equipped developers for this time and more. So let's welcome Victor. Yeah, Victor, you can take the screen.
Hi, everyone. So glad to be here. Yes, thank you, Karen, for the little compliment you paid me. But let me just show you why I am older than I really am, than you really think I am. And that's because I usually wear glasses. But today, because I'm doing a presentation, I need to take off my glasses so I can see my screen. That's a problem that a lot of older generation people have to deal with. Okay, glad to be here. Let me share my screen right now. I'll start before I introduce myself and the topic at hand. I'm going to ask you a very light-hearted question. A recent survey was done amongst leading companies in Malaysia recently. The question that was asked of the CEOs was, who led the digital transformation of your company? Was it A, your CEO, B, CTO, or was it something else? And the winning answer was, believe it or not, COVID-19. And Jason has alluded to it, and so has the rest of our speakers. COVID-19 is really changing a lot of things for us. Businesses, even consumers are changing the way that they are carrying out their daily activities, how they look at buying and how they look at spending their time. So this pandemic is something that we really, really need to take heed of, not just for now, but also for a very long time to come. Now I can start with my presentation. As Karen said, I am Victor Chua. I'm MHub CBO. I like to think of myself as the Chief Busybody Officer because I like to put my nose into everything that goes on in the company. Karen mentioned that I'm an ex-property developer. I pivoted and joined MHub because I saw property technology as an exciting and integral component of the property industry. Plus, I love a good challenge. And probably it's midlife crisis. Today, I'll be talking to you about lead retargeting. Especially today, knowing where to find good, reliable leads is extremely important and also extremely challenging. I dare say next to cash flow management, this is key to business survival. And I think a lot of you will probably agree with me. So you just heard from my two esteemed speakers about digital marketing. Today, I'd like to zoom in on marketing to your existing customers. But before I do that, let's put my little presentation into context. Now, I'm going to share with you some facts. Some of you have already heard of them. We get them on news and on a lot of our chat groups. So please bear with me as I share my next few slides. IMF says COVID-19 to cause the world's worst recession since the 1929 depression. We all know it's bad. The question is, do we know how bad it is? And I think it's fair to say that we've never experienced this before. It's a 100-year type of epidemic and a crisis. And so this is something that we really need to take stock of. In Malaysia, 2 in 5 Malaysians' incomes affected by MCO. We do not have the unemployment numbers in Malaysia because we do not give unemployment benefits. But safe to say that unemployment will be something that we will have to grapple with in our economy. 2 in 5, this is roughly around 15 million, roughly around 6 million people who will be affected, whose income levels have dropped.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, Victor.
Yes?
Are you sharing your screen?
I am, yes.
No,
you
we can't see it.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I think just need to share the screen and so people, because I know that people don't put on the screen.
Okay. Sorry about that. I really apologize for that. Yeah. Again, this is another.
Maybe you need to put on your glasses again.
Okay. Now can you see the screen?
Right. Yeah.
Ah, hallelujah. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in straight to where I left off. So we'll skip all the slides that I have shown earlier.
Yep.
So it's going to be very hard for us to find new customers in this time. Don't give up. Don't stop trying. Lead gen is an essential part of your business survival. So the just that our two team speakers spoke of, you need to explore them because it's important for your business survival. But it's going to be tough. Now, the question on your minds is, will things get better once the MCO is gone? I can't go out now, but when I can go out, maybe I can start going back to my everyday life. You know, maybe that's something I can consider. But let me just say that this pandemic is going to cost about $9 trillion globally in spending for the government, which means they're going to have to borrow. I just read today, Malaysia's government is looking at bonds. So there's not going to be enough government expenditure for the industries that you probably are in right now. SMEs are expected to be badly hit with many closing down. Unless the government steps in and give financial support, how many can sustain reduced demand for your products and services stemming from social distancing and unemployment? So it's likely that the pandemic is not going to recede in the second half. There may be some changes. Azmin was just telling us that they are going to keep extending the deadlock or the lockdown, but maybe with certain services being allowed at the time. Okay, trying to go on to my next slide. The question that you have to ask yourself is this, is how do I keep my business going? How do I stay relevant during this day and age? I'd like you to consider 3 questions. Ask yourself firstly, what is my go-to marketing strategy for selling my products? And I think Daryl and Josh kind of hinted to what you can possibly look at. Secondly, I would like you to take a look at your existing resources to see what kind of data you have on your customers from your past and what can you get from it. Thirdly, what new things can I do with the customer base that I have? Okay. And undergirding all these three questions is who can help me with the answer to these questions. There are many possible answers. We have heard just two answers just now. I'd like to give you the MHub answer. The end to end to end to end and end. It's something that can continue going on. The more we are involved in this industry, we realize that there's so many different components that we can introduce to the market. It's what we call a digital platform. The digital platform model is especially relevant during these days of social distancing because it allows those who are tapped into the platform to find meaningful connections to others who can help them sell their products and services and ultimately to the buyers themselves. MHub saw this potential 5 years ago. We didn't see social distancing, but we saw the power of building a platform because we saw it as a way to help users save time and money when doing property sales. So in the last 5 years, we have enhanced and increased the number of tools our users can use and have at its disposal so that today, without exaggerating, you can literally buy and sell properties without even leaving your home. And this is what the MHub end-to-end property sales platform looks like. We service everyone involved in property sales, from developers to sales agents to banks to lawyers, and now most recently to buyers. If you want to build a platform, there are 4 key components that you need to develop and develop well. The tools, rules and standards, the audience, and the ability to matchmake everyone. MHub has all of that. Today, we are currently serving 70 developers, all the major banks, both local and foreign, that are relevant to Malaysia, and more than 1,000 bankers and 2,000 agents. So that is an audience that is continuously growing with time. We are reaching out to our clients now to share 3 areas that we believe we can help you with in using the suite of apps that we have built. They are online property sales, and online property sales is a topic that our CEO and founder, Quack, spoke about last week. Live webinars, something like what we are doing today, just introducing you to new products and new services. And finally, lead retargeting, which I'm going to talk to you about. So let's get right to it. Remember my point earlier that you want to look at your old customers, the customers that you have in your database, and see what you can glean out of that. But of course, when you get access to that information, you don't know what they look like right now. They may have bought a product from you back 5 to 10 years ago, but today, what do they look like? What is their financial standing? You have no way of understanding or knowing whether these are people that could potentially be relevant to your business. So lead retargeting is a strategy to help you figure these questions out. It is a subtle go-to-market strategy that can not only help you find new sales, but also help build your brand image. So what is lead retargeting? It is a method of digital advertising that aims to entice users back to an advertiser's site after they have left. So you know you have the leads or the customers. You don't have to pay for them, which is good, especially when you're trying to keep your costs low because they are your database. It's in your file somewhere, or better yet, it's in your server. Look for them. How many do you have? You have 100 customer base, 1,000. If you're a large company, you probably have thousands of names and email and phone numbers that you have. Now, what do you do with them once you find them? You will need to go through a finely tuned filtering process to see which customers are relevant to your business today. So how can developers use online tools to do lead retargeting? I would like you to consider this, this proposal. Consider helping your customers to get what they need during this time, access to cash. If you can help them do that, you would have helped them go a long way in dealing with this pandemic. And in the process, you could possibly get new potential sales. Now, how do I do this? It's not that difficult. Just 7 simple steps. As I mentioned, identify customers from your database, email the customer offering help for refinancing and loan rejection. And those interested to find out more will click a show of link interest. And if you partner MHub, MHub's concierge team will call those who click the link. The customer does a free check using MHub's buyer app. Leads will be sent to banks based on the score results using MHub's loan tracker. MHub's concierge team will follow up with the assigned banker and customer until loan disbursement or rejection. And finally, MHub will give a report to the developer on how the campaign went, giving valuable insights into their financial health. Now, this is an example of what refinancing can do for your clients. The aim here is to give your clients access to extra cash using the asset that they purchased from you. It's a reminder that the property that they bought from you is a valuable asset that can help them during challenging times like this. And it reinforces the principle that ownership can be useful in good and bad times. Now that is an asset that can help them to refinance, to do loan consolidation, to get that extra cash so that they can do something with it. And there are different reasons of why they would need extra cash. It could be as simple as needing the money to pay for daily expenses or children's education to keep their lifestyles going. But it can also go towards looking at new investment opportunities. We all know that with this current economic crisis, that property prices are likely to go down. I hear that it could go down 15 to 20%. So for those people who have extra cash, who have the wealth, they can take advantage of opportunities like this. So if you help them to do that, you actually help build a certain loyalty or certain connection to your brand, which is a good thing in this market. And don't just look for direct sale opportunities. Look for the subtle way in which you can keep that connection going with your customers. And finally, there are those who may have bought properties from you or tried to buy properties from you last year, but they couldn't get a loan. And it doesn't mean that today they cannot get a loan. Okay, there are many possible reasons why that happened. Like probably they applied for a loan with the wrong bank, or they did not submit proper documentation, or they have a poor DSR score. With our MHub's concierge team, we can help your clients find the right deal, the right financing to buy your property. What's the win for customers? I think I've alluded to it just now, but just to recap, get additional cash and or lower the cost of borrowing, right? And stand a chance of owning the property that you are trying to sell to them. The win for you as developers is you get potential new sales or potential customers whose loans were rejected, and you will be seen as showing concern for customers. It's a good PR and branding exercise that you may want to consider. Throw it in there. And it's not a difficult thing to do. So with the extra time that we all have, your staff sitting at home, not having much to do, why not get them to embark on this campaign? Yeah. And finally, get updated on status of former clients. Like I said, these are clients that were your clients maybe 5-10 years ago, but now they have an opportunity for them. You have an opportunity to understand their financial position and to see whether they are still interested in buying a property. So there are 2 groups of customers you can consider doing lead retargeting to. Developers, customers for projects sold in 2012 to 2015. Why 2012 to 2015? That's because it would mean that they would probably have owned your property. They would have moved in and have started with their loan repayment for at least 5 years. And during this 5-year period, you could probably safely assume that the property value has gone up. And that's an important component of refinancing. And secondly, customers who could not buy a property launched in 2019 due to loan rejection. Now, if you partnered MHub, what are MHub's terms? Is this something in this for us? No, we don't charge any fees to customers. We do not charge any costs to developers for the effort that we put in. And we do not cross-sell your customer base to any other developers. So you can rest assured that it's always been MHub's policy that whatever information or that you share with us remains your proprietary database, okay? And we will need to seek your permission in order to do any campaigns. Here are some of the questions that our developer clients have asked us about retargeting. How would loan moratoriums affect the buyer's decision? So the loan moratorium that Bank Negara recently introduced helps buyers for the first 6 months. They don't have to pay back their mortgages. But what happens after 6 months? And this is where we really need to think about what happens in 2021. What happens moving forward? And I'm talking about us as consumers. Where do we get our funding to manage our expenses? Why is MHub doing this? As I mentioned, we are an end-to-end ecosystem player, a platform. Our business model is making sure that our users continually see value in working with us. Should developers reach out to their customers directly or get MHub to do that? We advise that a developer-driven campaign would be a better option. Given the fact that buyers already know you, there's trust built into that connection. And that trust is very, very important, especially when you want to do a campaign, a digital campaign like this. But MHub will craft the materials for you. Apart from our previous customers, is there anyone else we can reach out to through this campaign? Yes, you can reach out to your social media followers. I'm sure all of you have got your own Facebook page and you already have a list of followers. We can help you design an ad campaign that you can send, you can post onto your FB ad. And you can also reach out by spending a little bit of ad dollars to reach out to a wider audience. At what stage of the campaign does MHub get involved in? We take over when we receive leads from those who click the registration of interest link. From there on, we will follow through until successful disbursement or loan rejection. How will developer assess the success or otherwise of the campaign? We give a report at the end of the campaign, giving relevant data that can be used for lead retargeting. I've come to the end of my presentation. Just a snapshot again of what MHub can do for you during this time: online property sales, live webinars, and lead retargeting. We have a suite of various solutions for you during this time. So do consider us. I want to end by just showing you this quip that I saw on the internet recently. It's funny how the world economy is about to collapse just because people are buying only what they really need. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going back to basic. So the question that I would like you to think about is, moving forward, will people still want to own a home in the foreseeable future? If you can answer that question convincingly, you will find the right tools to steer your company. Thank you very much. If you are interested to try a cheap but effective way to resell to your old customers, try lead retargeting. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us today.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much. Yeah. So before we actually go into the open Q&A session,
he stands the best chance of getting a loan. And then we will handhold the buyers to get them to a point where they can confidently say that they have done everything that they need to do on their part. We will look at the DSR score, we will look at the documentation that is needed, and we will advise the buyer on what will be his most what would be the most important things for him to do in order for him to fulfill the bank's requirements. And then we follow up with the bankers. Bankers will give either a rejection or an approval, and then we exit from there. And
so it's a form of matchmaking.
So it's a matchmaking solution, but it's more than just matchmaking solution because there's a lot of groundwork that goes into making this work. Because I don't know whether you've ever applied for a loan. Loans usually take a long time to process, and that's got to do with a variety of reasons, including getting the right documentation. So when we have our concierge team get involved, when they handhold the buyer, we can cut short the process by which all these things are done. And because we are online, information can be shared digitally, and answers can be given digitally as well. So it's faster process, it's cheap, and it's because it's guided, we believe that your buyers will stand a better chance of getting a loan.
Right. Okay. Here's a question from Huawei Mate 20 Pro. I think he asked two good questions, I think, which is in the back of some people's minds. How does a company management be convinced? Oh, hold on, yeah, I need to change the setting. All right. A question, okay. How does a company management be convinced of that the leads or data of a potential customer stay exclusive and won't be leaked out to external parties? And also a follow-up question was that recent reporting that even Zoom has a security issue or hackers access to Zoom to mine user data and also matters of security. So I think I'll just answer to say that trust is so important, especially in this day and age. A platform really is built on trust. So if trust is broken, it's going to be very hard to run a business. So our commitment in MHub is that we will the data that is obtained will stay for the purposes that it has been collected for. Meaning, if it's from a property developer, and we've been doing this for close to 5 years now, developers trust us because whatever projects, whatever agents, whatever buyers, it stays within the individual ecosystem. That means we have multiple ecosystems. Of course, the ecosystem that remains is the one that is specific to project, is a project by project basis. Our CTO ensured of that, single tenancy and things like that. In regards to security, is something that it's a best effort. We really put our very much effort into making sure that it's the best in class, best in standard security mechanisms and looking into how we can make sure that it never is compromised. But yes, these are valid concerns. Okay.
Can I just add to that? Yeah. So
sure.
Recently, one of our clients, a tier 1 development company, entered into some sort of a collaboration agreement with us to do this refinancing, retargeting campaign. And we asked them to go check their database to find the customers that they used to have back maybe 5-10 years ago. And one of the problems they had was that they were in lockdown and the staff who had access to that data couldn't get it. So that was a problem because we needed that in order for us to carry out the campaign. Yeah. So MHub, of course, we have access to that data and we can actually draw down on that data. But the first thing we did, we asked permission. And so we had to write in officially and formally to the developer to ask them for permission to access the data. And then they gave us very specific type of data that we could draw down on. And we followed that guideline. So MHub takes this data security very seriously. And as Jason pointed out, there needs to be an element of trust between us and our clients. And so, yeah.
Also, from CC again, CC is very active. CC, you're listening. Just thank you for the questions. Okay, hybrid online is more realistic rather than full online as few 100,000 products. I remember my staff told me got one developer put their property to sell in one famous online platform in Malaysia. If that worked, the thing already can go. Okay, so my understanding is that it has to be, your thoughts is that it has to be hybrid, that it cannot be fully digital. And I think really what we are, I mean, what has happened or whatever practice is in the past is in the past. What's happening now really, nobody knows. A lot of it is speculative. A lot of it is assumption and a lot of guesswork. So that's what this whole webinar is all about, because I shared this last week as well, but I'm mentioning again today, because new problems requires new solutions. Modern problems require modern solutions, which will then cause more modern problems, which will require even more modern solutions. So for example, again, I use Zoom because Zoom has been around for the longest time. I don't know how many, but they've been around for years now. And the traction or people using Zoom may not be as much, but because of this global pandemic, because of COVID-19, now Zoom's interest and people being on Zoom it just rise up, right? So more and more relevant use of this technology. But of course, then the next problem is, security on Zoom, right? So it's going to be a conversation back and forth. A lot of these things that's shared today, a lot of it is foresight. A lot of it is thinking through and creative solutions. But are they the standards? Time will tell, right? Time will tell. Is it going to be fully digital or hybrid? time will tell, right? But what we are here is to have a conversation and to try to come up with what's ahead of us, what are the practices around the world, and what we can look into, because time is money for developers, especially for agents. Every single day, every single week, you're bleeding a lot of money. So we need to look into ways and be not passive, but be responsive and move ahead, especially with what we feel technology will be the way to answer. All right. Okay, maybe we need to bring it to a close because it's already way past the time. Maybe last final thoughts, don't have to be long, from our speakers, Joshua, Daryl, and Victor. Just real short, what are your final thoughts?
Maybe we can start with Josh first.
Okay, so yeah, just want to sum up, final thoughts is that I'm really looking forward to the next phase of how this whole industry is going to move forward, how we're going to bring this online, and a lot of things are unprecedented. Nobody has done a lot, nobody knows what's going to happen, but my final thoughts is that we have to start somewhere. Don't keep thinking so many things. Don't keep trying to put too many things into place first, because everything is a learning process. If we don't start, we don't learn. If we don't adapt, and every company, there's no one-off strategy, no winning formula for everyone. Everybody need to figure out what works for you. So that's just my last thoughts.
Right. Thanks, Joshua. Daryl?
I resonate with Joshua. Number one is that digital to a large extent is free. So don't have analysis paralysis. Do try it out on yourself. Okay, don't overthink it. Just get online. If you're not on Facebook, you're not Instagram, start an Instagram account, start a Facebook account. Just go and play around with it, because this is the best time to be, and you're kind of quote unquote forced to be on digital and online anyways. So do try it out. Don't overthink it. Number two is that as I'm in the marketing technology industry, marketing technology is a huge and wide sea of possibilities, right? So look at tech as your friend. Look at tech and see how technology can help your marketing efforts, and don't only just stick to social media. Once you get used to that, I would encourage you to look at tech as a whole. Look into platforms like live seminar, look at platforms like virtual tours, look at platforms to somehow automate your marketing efforts as well, marketing automation and so on, AI, chatbots. Start looking into that after you get used and comfortable with social media. So I'll leave you with those 2 points.
Right. So what you're saying is the worst thing you can do is nothing at all, right? You have to at least do something and learn. All right.
Yeah, play around. It's a playground right now.
Victor?
I would encourage everybody to change your mindset. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I know that the older generation will probably find this a time where you will be struggling, like myself, to understand how to use various tools. But I believe that we are never too old to learn new tricks, and we are never too old to continuously evolve. You know, human beings have that potential to adapt, to survive, to be better. So treat this as an opportunity. Don't just look at the challenges. Don't be desperate, because desperation leads to fear. But if you start to change your mindset and start looking at this as an opportunity in which you can be ahead of the curve, your company will succeed because of your resolve. And especially if you're a leader, you will need to be able to share that with your staff so that they will feel the energy that you have. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I just want to end by this saying this. If this happened 10 years ago, we would not be having this webinar because we will not have the tools to be able to do this. So I see this as happening at a time when we have the tools that we can evolve with. And so take advantage of that.
Right. Thanks, Victor. And also maybe one last question I saw here is from Michelle. We are using Toot, another app. How can MHub convince us to consider to use MHub software, as we cannot just spend another budget again? Please revert. Okay. So it's not, I think really what we're trying to do here is to have a conversation. So please, Michelle, get in touch with us and any other developers out there. Is not I mean, it's no harm. Just giving a call, having a conversation, talking to us, and then we can explain to you what your options are, especially to go digital. Because again, our tagline, this part of our campaign, if you can see bottom here, MCO, MHub can online, right? So thanks again for tuning in. We hope to hear from you again. Once again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us, hello@mhub.my, or just WhatsApp or call us at 019-675-6118. I think I'll draw it to a close, but before we conclude fully, I think Karen, there's one last thing.
Yes, yeah, actually about close to 70 people has responded to the survey, and let me share it out again, and please complete the survey and we shall send you the slide. And also please follow our Facebook, our Insta, and our LinkedIn, and you will actually have more. We will update our slides, our page from time to time about the news and activities. Please follow us and stay tuned for our next webinar series,
which is next week.
Yep.
We will be having another webinar next week, same time, same place. So stay tuned for that. If you found that this has been a very value adding for you, please share it out to your friends and people in your company. We hope to, again, weather through this together with technology. So I think that's it for us. I think once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great weekend ahead, and we hope to hear from you soon. Take care, everyone. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
And goodbye.